Alright, you're going to have to turn a light on me.
Okay. I was just getting our sad little...
You're going to have to light me. Hello. That ding is for me tagging you. Alright, we are here in Wauchula, Florida. We are... You don't have to maybe necessarily share it so we can get some pictures of us actually doing this as well. We are here at beautiful, picturesque Wauchula, Florida. Didn't take us long to drive here, although, you know, we had to deal with traffic. If anyone who's driven these roads in Florida, it goes from like 65 to 35 to 65 to 35. But we finally got here. My leg is holding up. For those of you guys who know, I've had a bad leg, so that's pretty cool. And as you can tell from the traffic, we are pretty much underneath the bridge. They said that the bridge dates back to the 1970s, 1950s.
Yeah, the original one was here in the 50s. This is the 70s.
This is the 70s one. So this is the second bridge. And it is a double road bridge. I mean, this is not necessarily a main road or a major road or anything like that, but it does have its... What? I mean, this is like, it's not rural.
Area.
I mean, it's not rural. Like, it's not like it's like a country road or it's like dirt road or anything like that.
The other side, there's the sheriff's office.
I'm going to see.
At
the end of this road is the sheriff's office. Can you flashlight up there? Can we maybe see if we can get a little bit of the bridge, what it looks like? Higher up? No?
And it's actually called Griffin Bridge.
It's called Griffin Bridge. Yeah, you can't really see it, unfortunately. So we're going to get a light on this. So can we do this? Can we get it all? No.
That looks like, ooh, look at.
What?
Looks like blood.
What looks like blood?
Look at underneath the bridge.
Underneath the, oh, like dripping down right there? Oh, can you get a picture of that? Okay. I'm going to flip this back around. Whoa, there I am live. Ah, with the light. Okay, so, light on me, light on me.
Hold on, I'm getting the bloody bridge.
All right.
You are less important than the bloody bridge.
I am. So, okay, so we're here at the bridge. So I guess we should talk about the legend a little bit.
Okay.
So the legend behind Bloody Bucket Bridge is that there was a freed slave who was a handmaiden. Is that what it's called? Handmaiden? Midwife. Yes, midwife. That's what I meant. Midwife. And I'm going to turn my hat this way because you're seeing the red of there. And there you go. And she... Oh, thank you. That's awesome. And she was delivering babies. And based on kind of different versions of the story, we're kind of giving you the condensed version, kind of like combining some other things. She either had lost a lot of her children, was mad that she was torn away from her children when she was a slave. She came down from Georgia. She became a midwife, and her mind kind of went, and she started killing the babies. And so the story goes that she would bury the babies in the woods that are all around us. So the woods, like, right over here.
We are pretty thick. The woods. I should mention, this is the Peace River. This is actually
the Peace River that we're on, yeah. And so she would bury the babies. And then what happened was she kind of went a little more crazy, if murdering children is not enough. And she began to see her buckets filling with the blood of the children she had killed. Okay, that's killing me. All right, there we go.
Okay.
A little bit, yes. Maybe a little more. Boop, there you go. You're perfect. Hold right there for a long time. So her buckets would fill with blood. And she would try to dump them out crazy and dump them into the river.
Day and night.
Right, back and forth, burying it. That's a car. And so, oh, wait a minute. We should have the digital recorder going. We left it in the car. We're not going to be able to capture those beautiful children crying in the woods, but we'll tell you if we hear them. There's another part of the story that says that she would take the birth fluids and she would dump them into the river, like the blood of the children and the birth fluids, and dump them in the river. And that's how the river kind of became this blood red. Although one would think that there was no way you could dump enough to make a river turn red and stay red. But either way, she would constantly be dumping these buckets. Her husband, one story says that the buckets were completely empty. Actually, multiple stories say it. That the buckets were completely empty, and that she had gone completely insane. So there was nothing in them. Either way, the story continues. Back to me a little bit. I'm falling into darkness. The story also... Stop!
Oh, no.
The story also goes that she, while doing her dumping duties at one point, fell in the river and drowned herself. So she died in this river, at this spot. So at the intersection of the river and the along with the children she had murdered. So what it's said to happen is that if you come here on a full moon, which it is tonight, and especially tonight is the blood moon.
Can you get a shot of the moon? Because that's really spectacular.
Okay. Around. There is the blood moon, which doesn't even look full.
Yeah, it does.
It's got kind of a wobbly effect to it.
And you can kind of see a red ring around it.
Sure. I mean, I see a ring.
Uh-huh.
You know, it doesn't really capture well on camera.
Oh, that's sad.
What are you going to do? So the nature of this legend is that the two things we're going to explore with it. One, we're going to keep some buckets empty and see if they fill with blood, because we're a little bit psychotic too, so maybe that'll happen. The second part of the legend that we're going to do is we're going to take two of the buckets, we're going to go into the river itself, and we're going to harvest the water from there. So, and by we, I'm assuming we mean me, yes. Because Natalie is going to run the camera and the flashlight while I go in and do it, and we're going to keep it live while I do it. So, Let's go down to the buckets first.
Okay. Our sad little array of buckets.
Our sad little array of buckets. So if you didn't catch our first video, we've got a nice car washing, wash your floor bucket. We've got
the Halloween candy
bucket.
A
little
Doc
bucket.
McStuffins bucket. Doctor, midwife.
Did you do that intentionally?
I did.
You are the best.
I know, kids, you know.
And then my contribution.
Absolutely no sense whatsoever.
The Star Wars bucket. Because we want the Force to be with us.
Oh,
at all times. You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, it's sad that the river is supposed to look red on nights like this.
Okay. So,
but it looks yucky brown to me.
It looks sludgy brown.
Right. No red.
Okay, so flash. I don't know if you can completely get this on camera. Well, let me try the light. Is that helping at all?
You have to go down.
Okay.
Go down.
No, it goes down. So you can see that's the water. The brown that you're seeing is really from the bottom. You can really tell that the water itself is actually, oddly enough, clear. So that's just all the mold and guck from the actual... From my shoe. So you've got a hole in my shoe and it's letting in water.
That's disgusting.
What you're going to do. And then...
It's
actually... the water's pretty clear.
So the legend says that you're supposed to hear the babies crying.
Okay.
And water splashing.
So we're gonna maybe be silent for a little bit.
Okay.
No. Why don't we get the water first, and then we'll take the Facebook Live off, and then we'll be quiet.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So I'm gonna leave this to you.
Okay.
And which bucket should I put actually in the water? Should the traditional bucket?
Traditional bucket.
Okay. And we put these two right here on the edge. And see if they fill up with water.
Or blood.
Or blood. Star Wars. Two different contrasts. This is haunted shell? Don't think so. All right. I'm going to go over this way.
I was going to ask you what your plan of attack was here. Oh, for the love of God. Please be careful. Wait. Where are you going exactly?
I want to get a good clean spot.
Oh my God.
Can you see me okay?
I'm following you so I can see you better. Okay. She said cautiously. It's pretty.
Bucket one.
Well, the bucket's red, so it's going to be hard to tell if it's
Well, that's
blood.
why I said the contrast. Yeah. The second one. Can you see that?
I can.
It's kind of...
pissy color.
Pissy. So unless you're pissing blood... Alright, why don't we go back?
Okay, hang on.
best my leg has felt in like 2 weeks.
Must be the cold weather.
Must be. This cold weather is great for the joints. So.
Okay, so specimen 1. There's some yucky stuff floating in there, but I do not see any tinge of red besides the bucket.
Not a tinge of red on the bucket.
No.
And in this one?
And this one, it is yellow. It's yellow.
Yellow. Okay, how about if we pour?
Pour.
Makes me want to pee.
It smells a little bit like pee.
Smells a little bit like pee.
Somebody had asparagus.
But no.
No.
Nope.
No red.
No red whatsoever.
So, let's check out. No. And no. All right. So I think now is a perfect time to go silent.
Okay.
Whoa. And see if we can hear anything.
All right, put the light on me a little bit. So, here we are, once again, side of the Bloody Bucket, bridge. We're going to get to the whole reason of why this story probably isn't true. And kind of, I think we cracked how it began. How the legend might have began.
We found the origin story.
We might have found the origin story of this. We
definitely did.
We definitely did. We cracked this. We're like Mythbusters, but out in the cold with disgusting water. So we're gonna go silent now. We'll probably record the episode and have it up in the next couple of days. You can see some of the glorious pictures for Wauchula. We got to find our way to the Circle K after this, because strange things are afoot at the Circle K. Anything else to say, Natalie?
No. Hi. I'm taking pictures.
Taking pictures of the buckets. So for all you guys who love to have your buckets filled, here on the last day of the month, we are signing off for now. We'll post some pictures and we'll post everything else. If you've got any kind of like stories that kind of sound like what we said in your area, please shoot them to us. But until then, I'm Crist Balzano.
And I'm Natalie Crist.
And here's hoping that all your trips are bloody.
Ew.
No? Okay, here's hoping all your trips are legendary.